Good morning, friends. Daily speaking courses and daily lifelong learning and basic in conversation. Daily explain her abouts and this the my explain is the very difficult. No error, no compromise is the very learning for this is very most important. My name is Sitaram and today's life attends and successful conversation my single attention at this the other times is the two-person conversation English is the biggest person. Otherwise is the very difficult and this the learning basis this the very important. English is must her about her every man her person is the today is the best conversation is the lifelong motivational speakers is the other person is the valuable started my journey is the English conversation is the very happiness very difficult very must be hours the listen of otherwise in this the American news reporters news and this the conversation and biggest player hiding areas English dictionary and otherwise is the other France United Kingdom areas is the English languages go through speech and direction very hardness and artisan way action mood friendly director for her about president is the very clean English in this difficult of this the very happiness is the English conversation is the daily must be about with this the conversation is the living of times the everybody thoughts about the meaning of conversation the living of times conversation is how many requirement the suggestion pool is the everybody thoughts is the career is the very importance that's okay in the requirement the suggestion pool is the very happiness is the food provided in the daily journey languages high commanded high regulation high speeches high importance area go to the successful managemental theory by theory and her person is the English speaking her every day every ago the 4 years 5 years it is the very hard news in this the children pre years children the smoothly about with this the fluence English thoughts as the very very honestly very difficult not difficult and the successful is in managemental areas so many this age English conversation in this line and other areas transformation and very difficult times English is the very much about me is the thinking your mind successful is your conversation and is the build your self English conversation and is the her word meaning successful provided by is the journey about this listen it is the very difficult of times very evening of courses very succession and this the very pronunciation in this life engagement is the today's best opportunities successful in the managemental areas the theory of this the management is the how about lifelong learning base to base engagemental environmental the science educational thoughts living of started the component is the very difficult that's is the area to area study the mountain valley areas the go valley areas other person and her researcher center her this. This is her every person and every theory production means in the American Harvard University and this the very Oxford University's students very hardness clean her areas, her field very successful man in this educational field is the very powerful, most powerful is the educational field. That's okay is the requirement. The my suggestion for her people's her everyday her lifelong learning in basic or basic is the difficult, no difficult areas of success of this condition field the our thinking your this the mindset and this the go about for this the any person any thickness any working and this the any person it is the government rules is the government rule is the her every each working her every life long process working successful the commitment and the banking working the everyday pointed in the English work and this the English typing English her areas her field her is the regulation areas the today's best opportunities in the successful this journey about the mission for is the conversation this the life awards the managemental areas today's best opportunities is the successful the management areas the successful is the conversation life engagemental is the theory by theory is the explain is the हर यानी पालतू animals is the difficult working your this the myself in the honestly is the dog and her cow animals is the biggest supporting your this the women and men is the very splat her areas hen the dog and very others qualities and this other difficult part of speech in the successful this the thickness is the vocabulary in successful is the very high full writing in this the hardness in this the difficult conversation in this life engagement is the theory about the mission for successful this get your door is the open mindset is the successful in the her one field directly in the conversation the English language is high commanders conversation in the Supreme Court is the very English language is the very high command Chief Justice has this the her one such is very successful mind say in this very English person the go about the chief justice in the sign side in the case areas the detail for discussion in this one person in the English and this the translator man's in the book requirement and this one man is the go through the other areas second man's chief of justice is the discuss for this the case is the go through and the translator is the supporting by is the other man's and the discussion for chief justice and the justice supreme court is the very most powerful India's constitution as the supporting by her people is the very lifelong honestly her areas the difficult of the times and the journey of this the very honestly this conversation and the living of and this mission is the section our thickness is the management areas theory like about the my mission for successful man is speech writing listening is the motivational thoughts thank you everyone is the good help and this very honestly and the support my your families your brother your cousins is the no difficult English is the very simple way through in this the collect me about me very honestly. That's is like is the thinking my point. Okay, thank you.